Hi, Stephen Burns here again, and we're going to play around with depth of field. And as you can see, I've merged three of these duplicates, basically duplicated my original 3D layer and merged them using the Merge 3D command through the 3D menu. So I'm going to extend out my canvas a little bit. I'm just going to zoom down, and I'm holding the Alt and the space bar together. And as I move the mouse left to right, I can zoom in and zoom out. Subpixel resizing is wonderful. And I'm going to release it. So Alt and spacebar down together, or Option spacebar if you're on the Macintosh. And that's going to give you a nice little subpixel scroll. I'm going to hit the C key for my crop tool. I'm going to select it. And let's just expand this out just a little bit more. We can expand this up. And I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard, and that's going to expand everything out. Let's go ahead and fill this one and hit the Shift F5 to go to my fill, and medium 50% is what I have. And let's go back to my little navigational tool so we can play around or navigate our 3D object. In this case, I'm going to just kind of resize it to the side. So as I move it this way, we can see all three of our objects in way back there in 3D space. Now let's play around with this just a little bit. Let's go and get our 3D mesh, and as you can see here, I can select any mesh, and each one is separate here. I can rename these as well. In fact, let's turn the eye on and off so that we can see which one is which. Okay, that's the first one. So how about if we double click it and call this one cabinet number 1. Let's go to the second one, turn the visual aspects on and off, or just to see exactly where it is. I'm double clicking on the text here, and we'll call this one cabinet number 2. And we're going to rename this geometry here, because we're basically just dealing with the geometry. And we're going to call it cabinet and number 3. Okay. Alright, so cabinet 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to select the third one, use my navigational tool, and I'm going to bring it forward a little bit. Bring it on over, bring it forward. See, it's passing through the other. It's too close. I'm going to bring it back right about to there. Let's go to the second one, the cabinet, and let's see where that one is positioned. Right about there. And I'm going to click on the last one. Now notice I can just click on it, and it's going to highlight it just like a regular 3D program. Here we are. Okay, now let's kind of rotate it. Select the very top rotational option, navigational tools, and that's going to navigate this entire piece as one. Okay, is that making sense so far? I'm going to bring this over to the side, and now let's see what happens when we apply depth of field to this. Now we need to be in the camera view. Let's pull this on back up. Select the camera controls, the zoom options, and notice up here in depth of field blur, let's actually set the blur. Give it somewhat of a slight blur, and there it is. Now, as you can see, the foreground and the background object is slightly blurred, and look at your distance. Let's play with the distance. Let's bring it up a little higher, and as we go higher in distance, it starts to focus on the further one away. Okay, is that making sense? Sure is. So let's bring it back, and we're scrolling through, sharpening up the image as it gets closer to the first one. Alright, so I'm going to focus on the first one. The other two are slightly blurred out of focus. The depth of field blur is a little strong, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So there we are. Alright, so that's how you can control your depth of field. Beautiful. That's one of the beautiful tools in Photoshop, really trying to reflect the properties of a photographic camera. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to come back and explore other wonderful functionalities, 3D functionalities in Photoshop CS5 Extended.